Alright, so let's look at the oil. It's got oil in it. Well, I know it's sitting backwards. Well, at somewhat of an angle. The oil level's still within full level there. Smells like diesel oil. So there's no milky stuff in there. I'm gonna loosen this strap. Alright, got that strap taken off. I'll spin this thing where it's stable. Figure where to set this camera. There we go. That's a lot better. Alright. Let's look at the oil now. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, the oil level is it's full, which is great. It's amazing. I love it. It's not over full. It didn't look white. It was black. Black oil. Good, good, good. Black diesel oil. Add oil here in the top. So a little backstory here. So I actually wanted to purchase this engine. Man, that looks good in there. Wow. I think I got a good buy. Heck yeah. So I'm gonna divulge this. I actually paid $200 for this engine. I think a win-win on my part. So I originally could have got it for $100, but the original person that had it on Marketplace had it for sale, and they're an hour from me. So I was up north working on another car up in Salisbury for a family member, and the engine was in Statesville, so it was only like maybe 25-30 minutes from Salisbury. So what I had done, I messaged her when I got home, because I was just scrolling Marketplace, just seen it, happened to see it, and I messaged the lady, and I was like, hey, do you still have this? You know, I'll be willing to come get it now. And she had said, well, I have a lot of people wanting to come look at it. I was like, yeah, I kind of figured, because this is a one in a lifetime, well, it depends on your luck, one in a lifetime deal. So I had said, well, let me know if it doesn't sell, if anything falls through. I can be there in an hour and 20 minutes. And she's like, okay, I'll let you know. So a couple hours have passed, and I was like, yeah, I think she sold it. And then she messaged me and said, yeah, it's sold. I was like, dang. Well, thank you for your time. I'm sure something else will come up. So, and lo and behold, that next day, it was the same ad listing picture that she had with the radiator attached to the hoses, and the radiator was just in front. Either way, it was this same setup. And I was like, there's no way that's that same engine. So what I done was I messaged the guy. I was like, hey, you still have it? He said, yeah. So I told him, he had it posted for $175. And I was like, you know what? I told him, I was like, dude, I'll give you $200 within the next hour if you can meet me now. And he come back and said, yeah. And he marked it as pending, and I was like, yes, 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 finally got the original engine. Because I told him, I was like, I think this is the engine. I was trying to buy it yesterday, and I was 30 minutes too late on making the deal. And he said, yeah, probably. I was like, okay, all right, man, I got you. I mean, obviously I gave him $25 more than what he was asking for it, but at the same time I knew what he paid for it, you know, so I wasn't gonna go stupid with that. But heck yeah, I got this engine. It's a 2015 model for $200, and so far it seems good. So it didn't have any water or heavy rust. It doesn't have any heavy rust inside of the exhaust manifold. Yeah, there's really nothing in there, a little bit of soot, but that's normal with diesels. And the video that I watched on YouTube about this, the guy that was doing the servicing, he said usually folks will take out the security Torx screws and replace them with standard Allens. He said 9 times out of 10, if it still has the factory security Torx screws in them, in the valve cover, then the engine hasn't been cracked open 9 times out of 10. So when I seen that and I looked at it, and I was like, yeah, I think I got a good buy. As long as, you know, this thing turns over and doesn't start spitting back at me. But I am going to I really don't want to take the valve cover off if I don't have to, because he said there are O-rings, because the valve cover is the upper end oiling, so the oil pumps through the valve cover and actually sprays down onto the camshaft, rocker arms, and all that stuff. And there is a timing belt on this thing too. That's another thing I was kind of not perplexed, but you know, kind of wondering about too, because it is a timing belt, not a timing chain. Because I seen this cover and I was like, how does this work? This thing's the cam is in the head. It's like, this thing has to be overhead cam. It's got to have a chain or gear or something. But just looking at the parts list, it's this daggum thing has a timing belt, which is the first for me for a small engine like this. So enough rambling on. I'm gonna get to it. All right, so sorry for rambling there, just a little bit of history. But either way, okay, so now I got, say, a 24 millimeter. That's the crank bolt. Let's rotate this thing around here. Goes and stops. So I'm going to use this point of reference here as that. See if it pretty much rolls back around the other way. It's free. Goes and stops again. So I don't know if that's, it sounds like, almost sounds like something's, because it feels like, dadgummit, that's why I hate these cheap dang sockets or ratchets. I know I should have got my good one, my Craftsman. This is a Pittsburgh. It's good, but it don't hold a freaking socket. Anyway, well, it'd help if I put the daggum, the hole on the actual ball there. Yeah. Nice. I retract my statement on that. Alright, so yeah, it goes about a quarter turn and stops both ways right here. I can't get past either one of those. So I'm going to take apart the, well, I'm not going to take apart. I'm going to pull off this valve cover and see if there's something underneath there, because I honestly do not have the spline tool to get those off of there. And I really don't want to, well, if I have to, I'd have to weld nuts on it and then just replace the bolts with regular hex bolts. But I'm going to pull off this valve cover and see what's going on. Make sure the rockers and cam is moving, so I'll make sure of that before I get too far into it. So alright, I'll be back when I get the valve cover off. Okay, so what I have found so far is the engine's pretty dang clean on the inside. I like that. So there's a rubber grommet there that I'm not going to screw with. That rubber seal on the injection lines, and the cam does turn with the crank, but it still stops in the same spot. I don't see anything up here that would cause that issue. I'm going to pull off this front cover and look at the timing belt, make sure there's nothing in there that's stopping it, because it seems like it just stops in one spot on both ways. So I'm going to do that now. I'm going to go ahead and put this valve cover back on because I don't need to do anything in here. So Alright, so I got the valve cover back on, tightened back down. Now we got the front cover off. Look at that. It's like a daggum automotive engine almost. But either way, the belt looks good. I don't see any missing ribs or anything like that. I'll try to rotate it again with the crank bolt. Well, oh, I did figure out the hard way. This thing is reverse thread. So tightening, well, loosening is tightening, and tightening is loosening. And yeah, I figured it out the hard way. Because almost daggum, felt like I almost was gonna break the dang bolt until I figured out. It's like, let me just try to go the other way, see if it breaks loose. And sure enough, the daggum thing went pink, loose. The moment I put pressure on it. So, alright, let me get this back in here. Alright, here's where I'm down to. So, got time belt off. I got the service manual. I can put it all back in time. I ain't worried about that crap. So, we got the valve cover back off. I took all 3 ejector units out. And the cam, all the valves are shut. So, this one's starting. That one's flat. That one's flat. That one's starting. Flat and flat. So, all the valves are closed. Should have no loose, loose, loose. That one's a little tight. Let's see. Let's roll that back. Oh, okay. I see what's happening now. So it's still on a lobe. Sorry, moving the camera around. Loose, loose. So either way, all the valves are shut, closed, pulled back. Don't see anything else. I do have a flashlight. I can see down into the, may not be able to see it on camera, but look down the ejection port. Don't see anything. Don't see anything. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna get me a welding rod and just put down the holes and make sure the pistons are moving when I turn the engine. So, right back. I just had a brain fart when I said the last statement, and then it came back and bit me in the butt. So, you can't put nothing down in there because this is indirect injection, not direct injection. So, there's a pre-chamber. Is where all the gases go when it compresses, and then it fires from that and blows pistons down. So you cannot technically see the pistons through here, because I see the glow plug tip. Yeah, I do see the tips of the glow plugs. So this is a pre-chamber fired. So, and I don't have a tool to remove those cups, and I really don't want to take off the daggum cylinder head either. Let me think. I may have to put the valve cover back on and flip this thing upside down and take the oil pan off. That probably would have been the easiest thing to do. Oh well. Either way. So now let me do this. Let me see if the pistons are actually pushing air. Okay, cylinder 1, it's good. Cylinder 2, we're good. And I got back in that stuck spot. Cylinder 3. Cylinder 3 is stuck. Now I gotta get my pry bar back so I can free this thing back up. because I put it on that point. So cylinder 3. Cylinder 3 is not doing nothing. Yeah. The valve's closed. You should be able to. It's breathing through this hole, the pre-chamber. But cylinder 3, it's not doing anything. So that tells me it either has a broken connecting rod or the connecting rod cap had come off the crankshaft. So, oh man, either way, I'm gonna have to take the oil pan off to deeper inspect this thing, and it's got oil in it, so I'm gonna have to weasel it over to the edge of the tailgate here, weasel it over to the edge of the tailgate and drain the oil out of it so I can flip it upside down or stand on its back. I'll just stand on its back onto the bell housing, but I gotta drain the oil out of it first. Dang, I was hoping for better results than that, but again, it is what it is. It's what happens when, you know, you buy something from someone that they don't completely know anything about. So you just take that gamble, that risk. So what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to put the injectors back in. Yeah, I'm going to put the injectors back in and tighten those back down, and then I'll put the valve cover on. Yeah, I'll put the valve cover back on and get this thing turned up. Alright, so here's where I'm at. So I got the oil drained out. It's down there. It's good, solid oil. There's nothing in the valve or in the oil pan except like little droplets of water. That's all it is down there. There's no metal, no shiny shavings, nothing. So what I've done, pulled up, yeah, obviously, I got this back cylinder, cylinder 3. I took the connecting rod off. It's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. So the piston, I pushed it up. I got to a point where it stopped. I pulled it off the crankshaft and rotated the crankshaft around the connecting rod by hand, and the crankshaft continued turning. So that tells me, because it stopped in every position, or the same position every time on this back cylinder here, and I solely believe that there is something inside of that cylinder at this point. So I am down to I don't know how or if I can get inside, open an intake valve, and I don't have a bore camera, so I can't see in there. So I'm gonna have to take yeah, I don't have a bore camera, so I can't see on top of that piston without pulling out, without taking the head off. And I don't have the tool to take off the E. Those bolts, or yeah, the head bolts that have the external the external star pattern. I know they're E sockets, and I don't have, I know for a fact I don't, because I do not see those at all. So I'm gonna have to figure, probably just gonna have to go buy a set. I thought I had seen those things somewhere, but it's not my stuff. It's probably somebody else's toolkits. So yeah, I'm gonna have to pull the daggum cylinder head off and figure out what's inside of that cylinder. I don't know if it can't be rust, but Alright, so I'm gonna put this oil pan back on. I'll have to take it back off and put new silicone on it because I don't have any silicone to put that back on with. And I gotta get this damn connecting rod back on there too. So, alright, I'll be back when I get that done. Alright, got the cylinder head off. I had to do it. There's just no way around it, and I've probably seen that. Like I said, there's E sockets that fits those that I don't have. Well, I use the next best thing, a sure grip, and it sure gripped them all right. Took every damn one of them out. Anyway, here's what we got. Water damage. Water damage. You know how I knew something was up? Because when I looked in the intake, after I took the intake off, I found, look at that. Use your imagination. I ain't gonna say nothing. Anyway, when I took the intake off, I seen a stink bug laying down in the intake port. Look where its friends are. Right there too. And yeah, that's why this blabbing thing would only move so far, because that cylinder's got some roost in it. The rest of them look good though. Got a good crosshatch. So yeah, that's it. Here's our problem. It's got rust in the cylinder. I'll be dang. But you know what? What I'm going to do, I'm going to oil that cylinder down and put some emery cloth on it, and over the best, because I'm not about to freaking, I guess I could pull that piston out, but I just don't want to fight it. And make sure the rings are not stuck. I guess I should do that. Do it the right way. Especially if I'm going to use this engine to make me money. I want to make sure it's right. So, alright, that's it. I'm going to, I guess, get a parts list together if I can't get this damn thing back together. Or, I know I can get it back together. I'll probably have to buy freaking head bolts now. So, but okie dokie. I guess that's it for this one for now. I guess I'll shoot back when I get some more update on everything, and hopefully get this thing started up. So I'm glad I found that, because that would have been a dead cylinder from the get-go. And you can tell that water kind of sat on this on this corner here, so this thing was either sitting, it had to have been sitting face down or some mess like that, and water got in it. Had to be. So, alright, thanks for this, and I'll get back on the next one.